Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about book 6 of The Dark Tower by Stephen King. And oh my gosh, this is without a doubt my favorite book so far in the later half of the series. And this is a series that I knew was very personal to Stephen King. It incorporates everything that he has ever written, every work. And he also includes a lot of meta elements. In this book, the meta elements really come through. And it was really interesting because I really enjoyed watching how all of these things came together and seeing how different characters from different books would show up. And there were certain points where, had I not been warned for many years by many different people that The Dark Tower was a pretty controversial and divisive series among Stephen King fans. And I really loved the first 3 books, and book 4 and 5 I just really did not enjoy as much. And this will be a non-spoiler review just to get that out of the way. I thought it was really just sort of incredible how personal this story got, because the only thing I knew about the series in totality when going in was that it took him a very long time to finish it. I'm very familiar with that phenomenon of authors taking a while. And I also knew that it got very meta, and I'd heard about certain scenes that I was like, oh, I don't know what I feel about that. And by the time I finally got around to this book, I really felt like I'm very, intentional now when it comes to what I'm reading. I know what my tastes are. I'm very confident in my tastes. This was the first book where I really started to do that, because I read Sun Eater. That was the last book I reviewed. And I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, if you want to know my thoughts on it, go watch the review. But I really enjoyed reading this book, and I loved it. And I loved how personal it got, and just the meta stuff was what I was worried about the most, because I knew that the particular scenes that I had read about were in this book specifically. And so going in, I was like, oh no. But then the last few weeks before I started this, I was like, I need to, rethink of how I read books. And this was the first book where I was really, really intentional about how I read this book. And man, how fruitful that effort became, because this was one of my favorite books within the series, because it was the most emotional one. Because Song of Susannah, it's very much centered around the character of Susannah. And this is a character who I have grown to love, and I have loved all of the characters throughout the series, and Susannah especially is one where I wanted more of. I love Eddie and I love Jake, but I feel like we got a really good sort of storyline with them. And there was a sexual assault of Susannah in book 3, and that was an event that I was very oh man, I wish the author would have that scene more in consideration as an effect on the character. And this was something that I felt during book 4 and book 5, and I was like, man, it feels like he's ignoring it. And it becomes a main focal point of book 6, and it was so interesting how he dealt with that and explored that question and sort of that impact, and how one finds peace within oneself after such an event. And what he does with Susannah is really interesting. And I ended up reading this book in 2 days. That's how good this book was. It was very, very fast read. I loved the character of Callahan this go around. And I loved sort of how the story of It, the book It with Pennywise, I loved how that book started creeping in a lot more this book in book 6. And I just loved it. I loved this book. And I'm so excited to continue to book 7. I think I'm going to jump right into that very soon, within a few weeks, because now I'm reading books very quickly now. I've basically optimized how my schedule goes, and I'm just very happy right now, just in general. And this book, my happiness resulted in me really enjoying this book. So I'm going to keep chasing this. I'm going to keep chasing this high of just happiness and all that. So life is good. Thank you all so much for watching, and please have a great rest of the day.